All right, and our last thing to create until we finish our toy car here is our driver. So if we look back at our driver is this little kind of, I used to call them people when I was a kid. This little people guy with a kind of a hat on. Again, if you look at him now, he seems like he might be kind of complex. So again, you can draw him in different ways. I seem to think this is going to be really probably the easiest way to draw this guy is by doing a revolve. So we can kind of cut him in half and draw this shape right here. Revolve it and then add the little piece for his hat. And when we draw the shape, I kind of looking at this, I see a circle up here, I see a circle here, I see a rectangle, and I see another rectangle. So we can kind of draw him that way and then just do a bunch of trimming and trim him down to the size that we need. So again, we have a lot of dimensions, so make sure we have our drawing out so we can kind of refer back to it as we go along. So let's start a new design. And again, I'm going to start by creating a sketch. Let's create it on this plane. And I'm just going to kind of try to sketch out basically what he is. Let's see, I believe his bottom legs come out 7.5. So let's start by drawing again, I'm going to draw a couple construction lines here. I'm going to draw one right down the middle. And I'm going to draw one horizontally as well. I think that's it this time. I should be able to dimension everything else that I need. So let's make sure I turn that off this time. Draw a line. So I'm going to start down here at the bottom. I'm going to come over, and I'm going to type it in as I go along this time. So I'm going to come over 7.5. Then I'm going to go from here, go straight up, and I'm going to go up 20. I'm going to go here. Let's see. I'm now going to actually come to the middle here. I can actually do this math in my head. So his bigger radius has a radius of 10. The little one was 7.5. So I only got to come out 2.5. So I'll start here, come out 2.5 this way. Then I'm going to go from there, go up 10. So again, I'm just starting this things in the right directions, letting it lock to being horizontal or vertical, and then typing in the distance I want traveled. Now when it gets a little messy like this, you can always stop and move some of your dimensions over so you can see a little bit better. Nothing wrong with doing that. And let's see, we got now, so that's the square part, or the rectangular parts. Now we have a couple circles. So I'm going to go back. Now I'm not going to draw the arcs. Arcs are kind of, at least I think they're kind of annoying to draw. It's easier for me to draw some circles. So I'm just going to draw one circle here, and his head has a radius of 7.5. So that means a diameter of 15. Since we can put diameters in here. Again, I'm just going to click on it up there. I'll dimension it again in a second. Then we have the circle for his body. I'll draw a second circle down below him. Again, it's a little bigger. This one has a radius of, I believe, let's go back and check our drawing, a radius of 10. So that means a diameter of 20. Alright, so now they're almost good. Now all I have to do is dimension. So our side pieces were dimensioned when the kind of bottom part of his body was dimensioned as we drew this. I just wanted to dimension the circular parts. So I know how big the circles are, but I gotta type in how far up they are. So let's see, the base of that is up 30. And his head, so at D, is up, let's see, 45. So now I'm almost there. Now all that's left for me to do is I'm going to draw one line that cuts him in half. And now I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm just going to hit T and do a bunch of trimming. I'm going to get rid of this complete half of his body because I don't need that. And I'm going to trim these two little pieces inside here. And I'm going to trim this part of the circle down here. So now I have, let's see, these are just the circular parts. Now I just have that nice half of his body. It's all one connected shape. So I'm looking, looks good to me. Let's stop sketch. Spin it a little bit and do create my revolve. Click on his body. Revolve around this center axis. Looks good to me. So there's the body part of our little people person. Now we just got to add the hat. So I'm going to go back in and do another sketch on one of these middle planes because I revolved it. This goes right through his center. So I'm just going to actually draw inside of his head and extrude it out. Let's zoom in. There, looks good. So I'm going to start by just drawing a center rectangle that snaps right into the center of him here. Again, I'm just going to try to go close because I'm going to dimension it. So let's see, according to this, its width is going to be 10 and its height is going to be 2. So I'll set the height as 2 and I'm going to hit tab, jump to the other one, set the width as 10, and hit enter. So there's the part for his hat. Now we got to figure out where his hat is. It looks like it is 46 from the bottom, from his feet. So let's zoom out a little bit. So I'm going to just add one more dimension here. The size of the hat's already dimensioned. There's the dimension to where it is. So I'm going to go from the bottom of the hat to his feet down here. And that is going to be 46. I got pretty close. That looks good to me. I'll stop the sketch. Now I'm going to do one more extrude. Click on his hat. See, drag it out. And according to this, his hat comes out 12.5 from the center of him. So this should be 12.5. Oops. So if you notice it, because it started inside of him, it wanted to remove it. Now that doesn't look too bad. It looks like he has a visor on. But I want to add material. I hit enter too soon. So I'm just going to go back to my timeline down in the bottom. Double click on the extrude. Change it from a cut to a join. And now his hat piece comes out. And our last step is going to be to do a couple fillets to finish this off. If we look back at our drawing, it has a fillet of 1.5 on the corner, and it has a fillet, looks like just of 1. I don't think he even gives it to us, of the kind of bottom parts there. So we'll do it so it looks good. So fillet, I'm going to do this corner and this corner at 1.5. And I'm going to do a fillet. I'm going to do the top edge and the bottom edge. Let's see what 1 looks like. Yeah, 1 looks pretty good. And we are done, and we have our guy with his baseball hat on. And again, your job is going to be to kind of modify him to a way that you like. If you want to put a racing helmet on him, you want to put some eyes and a mouth, make his hat so you notice my brim just comes out. There's no actual hat piece. You could actually make a hat piece where it gets bigger, but make this guy your own.